Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into an experience that shapes millions of lives, often seen in movies, right? But we're going to unpack the reality of American college life.
That's the plan. Our mission here is to pull out the key insights, maybe some surprising bits from the material you shared.
Right.
Kind of a shortcut,
Right.
to understanding what it's actually like being a student in the U.S., whether you're thinking of going or maybe you're just curious.
Exactly.
And these sources, they give a great student's eye view.
Yeah, they do. We want to go beyond those movie cliches, look at the mix of tough academics, real personal growth, and that vibrant social scene.
That's a whole package.
Definitely. So we'll cover the whole journey.
Yeah.
From those first kind of nervous steps on campus to handling classes, finding your independence, navigating the whole campus culture thing. Let's dive in.
Okay.
So let's picture it. Moving day, the car's full, maybe parents are there, feeling those butterflies. What's that first day actually feel like? That grand entrance.
Well, for a lot of U.S. students, this is huge. It's often the first time really living away from home.
Right. Different city, maybe even a different state.
Exactly. So it's this immediate jump into independence, a big break from, high school life. There's nervousness for sure, but also just this massive excitement about starting something new.
And a huge part of that first taste of independence is the dormitory, right? Or just dorm, as everyone calls it.
Oh yeah, dorm life. It's more than just a place to sleep, especially that first year.
How so?
Well, you're usually sharing a pretty small room with one or maybe two other people, strangers often.
Sounds potentially challenging.
It can be. I mean, you're learning to share space, deal with different habits. You're always kind of there together.
Right.
But it's also where tons of friendships start. You learn to compromise, sort things out. It's like a crash course in living with others.
A social experiment almost.
Kind of, yeah. A real incubator for figuring out how to get along.
Okay, so you've survived moving in, found your dorm room, then comes the academic side, the major, your main subject.
Right, your focus, like biology or business or whatever it might be.
But it's not just about that one subject, is it? There's this other component.
No, that's a really important point. The general education requirements, gen eds.
Explain that a bit.
So even if you're, say, an engineering major, you'll probably still have to take some classes in English or history, maybe a social science.
Ah, okay, so it's broader.
Exactly. The idea is to make you more well-rounded, expose you to different ways of thinking. Sometimes students even discover a totally unexpected interest this way.
Interesting. And the workload, how many classes are we talking?
Typically, it's something like 4 to 6 classes per semester.
Which sounds like maybe 15 hours a week, actually, in a classroom?
Yeah, around that. But, and this is crucial, that's just the class time.
Right, the tip of the iceberg.
Totally. You've got homework, reading, studying for exams, group projects. It adds up fast.
So time management is key.
Absolutely critical. Professors usually have pretty strict deadlines. You really have to learn to manage your schedule, which can be a surprise for some first-year students.
Okay, so academics are demanding, but college isn't only about hitting the books, right? There's this whole other world campus life.
Oh, definitely. That's a huge part of the American college experience, arguably where a lot of the growth happens outside the formal learning.
So what does that look like? What kinds of things are available?
It's incredibly varied. You've got clubs for almost anything, academic clubs, cultural groups like an international student club, debate teams.
Sports too, I assume.
Yeah, official college teams, but also lots of intramural sports, just casual leagues like soccer or basketball for anyone to join.
Fun.
And music groups, student government, volunteering. Loads of ways to meet different people, explore interests you maybe didn't even know you had.
It sounds like it builds skills beyond just the classroom.
For sure. Things like teamwork, leadership, organizing events, skills employers really value, practical application,
And then there are just general campus events.
all the time. Campuses often have movie nights, guest speakers come in, there are cultural festivals, concerts. There's usually something happening.
Keeps things lively.
Yeah, and you can't forget the cafeteria or the dining hall.
Ah, the food hub.
It's more than just food, though. It's like a central meeting point. You bump into people, you grab coffee and study, you just hang out. It's sort of the social crossroads of campus.
Okay, it sounds like a really rich environment, but it can't all be smooth sailing. What are some common struggles students face?
No, it definitely has its challenges. That freedom we talked about, it can be overwhelming too.
How so?
Well, homesickness is really common, especially early on. Missing family, friends, familiar surroundings.
I can imagine.
And stress about classes, keeping grades up. That's a big pressure point. Plus, managing money, often for the first time. Tuition is one thing, but then there's rent, food, books, going out. it adds up.
So how do students cope? Do they get jobs?
Many do, yeah. Part-time jobs are really common. Working in the library, a campus cafe, maybe somewhere in town. It helps financially, but also teaches responsibility.
Right, practical skills again.
Exactly. And there are usually campus resources too, like counseling services or academic support centers.
But despite the challenges, there's that flip side, the freedom.
Absolutely. That's the empowering part. You're choosing your classes, your major eventually. You decide how to spend your time, who to hang out with.
More control than you've likely ever had before.
For most, yeah. And that freedom, navigating those choices, maybe making some mistakes along the way, that's where huge personal development happens.
How do you mean?
You learn to be self-reliant. You figure things out for yourself, become more adaptable, more independent. It's a massive period of finding out who you are.
Makes sense. And part of fitting into this new world is learning the language, right? The slang, the terminology.
Oh, definitely. You pick it up pretty quick. There's a whole vocabulary.
Give us some key examples, stuff you hear all the time.
Okay, well, GPA is a big one. Grade point average.
Right, your overall score.
Yeah, it's super important for things like scholarships, grad school applications, sometimes even jobs.
Okay, what else?
Dorm, like we mentioned, short for dormitory, the student housing.
Got it.
Then you have midterms, big exams sort of halfway through the semester.
Stressful time.
Can be. And then finals are the really big exams right at the very end of the semester.
The grand finale.
Pretty much. And you don't usually call your teachers teachers, they're professors.
Or prof, right? People shorten it.
Yep. Often just prof. It signifies that shift. You know, they're academics, researchers, not just instructors like in high school.
So knowing these terms helps you kind of understand the rhythm and the culture of college life.
Exactly. It's part of belonging, speaking the same language.
So wrapping this up, thinking about everything we've covered, the American college experience sounds like, well, a real adventure.
It really is.
More than just getting a degree, it's this intense mix of learning, yes, but also fun, social connection, and just huge personal growth.
Definitely. It's transformative for many people. And maybe that leads to a final thought for you, the listener, to consider.
Okay.
Given how much emphasis American college life places on independence, on figuring things out for yourself, on that personal growth journey, what unique skills or maybe perspectives do you think students gain that go way beyond their actual major? Like, how does this specific environment maybe prepare people differently for the complexities of the real world, not just their first job? Something to think about.